and she offered me the job right
on
there.
On
the spot.
Oh my
And then I
goodness.
started like the next, like it was pretty quick. It happened so quick. She was like, you want to start? I said, yes. And I started working there.
But that was a paid internship.
Still not. Back then, it wasn't a thing to get paid for internships.
Yeah.
It was like more like you were
But then
so
they got
lucky.
in trouble for that after.
Vogue did. They got sued. So they stopped. I was their last intern.
Like free intern.
Yeah.
New details are coming out that are changing how people view Kylie Jenner's inner circle, and it's catching a lot of attention. Her former assistant has finally shared what it was really like working so closely with her, and why she chose to quietly step away. What makes this even more interesting is that Victoria didn't completely disappear. She's still connected to the same group of friends and still around, just no longer in that position. Naturally, people are now curious about what really happened behind the scenes, and why Kylie suddenly cleared her apps at the same time. Victoria recently opened up on her podcast, giving a rare look into how things actually worked. She was part of Kylie's team from 2015 to 2019, but her start wasn't glamorous at all. She began as an intern at Jenner Communications and pointed out that unpaid internships were considered normal back then, even though they were already being questioned. Before this, she had worked at Vogue, where that same issue had already caused controversy, so stepping into another unpaid role felt very familiar. From there, she gradually moved up, eventually becoming a full-time office manager. She handled everything, keeping things organized, managing deliveries, answering calls, scheduling meetings, basically making sure everything ran smoothly behind the scenes. Later, she stepped into a more personal role, working directly with Kylie and Kendall, before it eventually became a position focused only on Kylie.
I'll be the first one there, opening the office, answering calls, Jenner Communications. This is Victoria. How can I help you?
Oh my god.
Just like making sure, handling the scheduling for the office. Like all the sisters had that one office, so it was kind of like more busy, but it was fun. I thrived. I was in that job for about a week.
A week?
I was barely in that job.
I didn't know this until we first talked about this, but you were Kylie and Kendall's.
Yes. Basically, Chris was like, the girls know you. You've been here before. Familiar face. It makes sense. They like you. You should do it. I was working for the both of them, which was kind of like, it was like a lot of like, if one needed me, I was with the other one. It was kind of like, it became too difficult to do both of them at the same time. So then I had to pick and choose. I had to
but then I feel like that's when like Kylie launched Kylie Cosmetics.
Yes, and I was helping her, so I remember it was so fun for me. So then I chose Kylie.
That change alone shows how quickly things were shifting around her. But even as she moved forward, Victoria admitted she didn't enjoy every role she took on. She explored different positions, learning as she went. While she eventually found a spot where she felt more at ease, she also knew it wasn't something she wanted to do forever. There was no big fallout. It just wasn't meant to last. And that alone has people reading between the lines. When it comes to the moment everything changed, Victoria said it wasn't dramatic at all. Instead, it was quiet, but very telling. She realized that her working relationship with Kylie Jenner had become too personal. What started as a job slowly turned into a real friendship, and the boundary between the two basically disappeared. She shared one moment that made it all clear. Kylie asked for her laptop, something that would normally fall under her job, but Victoria didn't even think of it that way anymore. That's how much things had shifted. She wasn't acting like an employee, she was thinking like a friend. That's when it hit her that she had outgrown the role. When news first came out that Victoria was no longer working with Kylie, people immediately assumed there was drama. On social media, they always seemed inseparable, constantly posting together. So when that suddenly stopped, people had questions. Did they have a falling out? Was something going on? The timing didn't help either. This all happened not long after Kylie's very public split from Jordan Woods, so people were already expecting the worst. Victoria quickly addressed it herself, saying online that none of the rumors were true. She explained that after 5 years of working together, they both agreed it was time to grow separately in a professional sense. She also made it clear they were still very close and that their friendship had actually become stronger. She stressed there was no hidden conflict, no betrayal, nothing messy behind the scenes. And looking at things now, it lines up. They still spend time together and stay part of the same circle. The only thing that changed was the work relationship. At the same time, it does seem like Kylie learned something from the experience. These days, she keeps more distance from her team. You don't see her sharing as much about her current assistant like she used to with Victoria, and that says a lot without being said directly. Victoria also mentioned that she helped Kylie find her replacement, which makes the whole situation feel even more smooth and mutual. No tension, no awkwardness, just a clean transition. She repeated that Kylie was very understanding about her decision, reinforcing the idea that this wasn't messy, just necessary. Still, the podcast feels like it's dropping subtle hints. Even if everything sounds calm, they're touching on details people have been curious about for years. And now, those behind-the-scenes moments are finally being shared. Interest in anything connected to the Kardashian circle has always been high, but this podcast goes deeper into stories people have quietly followed for a long time. When Devin Lee Carlson joined the conversation, things became even more interesting. Victoria and her co-host didn't hold back. They asked Devin what it felt like to have a song linked to her life win a Grammy, specifically Wildflower by Billie Eilish. That question alone explains why people have been so invested. Devin was in a long-term relationship with Jesse Rutherford, and their breakup already had attention. But things escalated when Jesse moved on with Billie, and then a song came out that felt very specific. Fans quickly started connecting the dots, especially since Devin's brand is built around the name Wildflower. That made it hard for people to believe it was just a coincidence. Then the lyrics added even more fuel, talking about supporting someone through heartbreak, only to later be in a relationship with that same person. That's when the internet really reacted. People called it messy, questioned loyalty, and said it crossed unspoken lines. It stopped feeling like simple gossip and became something people took personally. At the time, reactions were intense. Everyone was trying to piece together timelines and figure out what really happened. It became one of those situations where opinions formed fast, even without full details. But over time, things didn't stay as tense as expected. Devin and Billie were later seen spending time together, looking comfortable with no awkwardness, which completely changed the story people had built in their minds. Eventually, Billie and Jesse also went their separate ways, adding another layer to everything. Some believe that going through a similar experience with the same person may have helped Devin and Billie understand each other better. It shows that not every situation has to stay messy forever. So when this topic came up on the podcast, it wasn't just for attention. People genuinely wanted answers. And even though Devin stayed calm and didn't go too deep, it was clear there are still parts of the story she chose to keep to herself.
How does it feel to have a song that was inspired by you win a Grammy?
Billie's giving me her Grammy.
It's on Devin's.
No, yeah. I literally saw her at the party after, and she just fell to the floor. She's like, thank you.
Not like, this is for you.
The first thing I said is, I'm like, your speech was perfect.
Yeah.
I think you did the perfect thing. You did the right thing. I'm so happy for you. Like, again, being
in the end.
Let's be honest. When real-life situations turn into award-winning songs, there's usually more going on than what people see online. Talking about that song, Devin Lee Carlson shared something interesting. At first, she couldn't even bring herself to listen to it. Instead, she just read the lyrics, which already says a lot. When something feels that personal, it hits differently. But now, she's at a point where she can laugh about it, showing that time has helped her move on and made things feel lighter. Now shifting to Kylie Jenner, people have noticed she's been acting a bit differently lately. She revealed that she temporarily deleted social media apps from her phone, which immediately got people wondering why. She casually mentioned on Instagram that she had taken a short break, but was back again. Still, timing like that doesn't usually happen without a reason. This all happened around the same time her boyfriend, Timothée Chalamet, was getting a lot of attention leading up to the Oscars. There was constant talk online about him, especially connected to the opera and ballet buzz, and it completely took over social media. Everywhere you looked, it was the main topic. So, it actually makes sense that Kylie may have wanted a break from all that noise instead of seeing it non-stop. Soon after, the two of them quietly went on a tropical getaway, and things seemed to calm down. Kylie started posting again, sharing small moments from the trip. Even though they didn't post photos directly together, it was obvious they were in the same place. Same jet ski, same views, same overall vibe. People noticed right away. No matter what people think about their relationship, Kylie looks genuinely happy right now. In her photos, she seems more relaxed and carefree. At the same time, Timothy appears just as easygoing, laughing, running on the beach, and enjoying the moment. Kylie also shared a few simple behind-the-scenes moments, like setting up her laptop to watch something and relaxing in bed without a care. It's a completely different mood compared to the online chaos from just days earlier. Then there's Timothy, who added another layer by posting a playful, carefree video of himself. He wasn't trying to be perfect, just being fun and a little silly. It felt natural, not staged, and gave people a glimpse of how he might be in private, especially around Kylie. That's why more people are starting to see them differently. Some still question the relationship, saying it doesn't make sense or that it's for attention. But when you watch how they act together, it feels easy and real, like they simply enjoy each other's company. That kind of connection is hard to fake for long. When you look at everything together, a bigger picture starts to form. Kylie stepping away from social media right when things were getting loud around the Oscars, then coming back refreshed and sharing calm vacation moments, while at the same time, her former assistant is opening up about their past working relationship. It almost feels like two different sides of her life are being shown at once. So it raises the question, what do you think is really going on? Did Kylie step away from social media just to avoid the noise, or was there more behind that decision? And what about her relationship with Timothy? Does it seem like something serious or just a phase?